You are enough because you are, and you are, and you are. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Samantha. So what do we got going on today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? When I looked at it a moment ago, it literally said 0.00 in the last 24 hours. Is that really where we want to be? Does that probably lead me to the indicators that over the low volume that we have on the weekend, we might be sliding down a little bit tomorrow? Possibly. Am I looking for a big drastic fall off a cliff? No, probably not. Where's Bitcoin going in the overall future? I also just looked and it's only 214 days away. Now let me see. Quick math here. 214 days to the halving. Of course, there's a little excess supply. Of course, it takes a little bit of time. So what is there? 365 days in a year. Let's cut that in half. 175. Let's go 200. So we're going long. 214, 215, or 414 days. And we should be looking at a higher price for Bitcoin, guarantee, or else. I don't know where the Bitcoin's coming from. I don't know how they're mining it. I don't know where maybe this stuff is magical internet money that just appears. It's not really backed by electricity. There's not like these $1,000 ASIC miners, millions of them all around the world sucking down kilowatts. So I think I seen the title of an article saying something about the Bitmain CEO saying that the next halving could not spark off the bull market. Craziness. Hey, bull market or not, I'm still looking for a good store of value. I'm looking for the digital future. I'm looking for the revolution where we have sound money. Ultimately, the fiat value will not matter once I can start to trade goods and services and eliminate these borders around me, because I've empowered myself then with Bitcoin. And you know who's here fighting the good fight with me? My co-host, Sammy.
Good evening, everyone.
So how are you feeling this weekend, Samantha?
I mean, it's, the change.
You got the bright orange shirt on over there. You're definitely like, boom. Looks like the coffee cup.
It's gatorness. It's, some neon traffic orange.
To me, orange and Bitcoin, they go hand in hand.
There's blue. That's how they get the gatorness. There's blue. It is a work shirt. But the whole time of football season, every Saturday, apparently I get to wear a t-shirt instead of the crap I normally have to wear. So I'll take it. It's, like casual Saturdays instead of Fridays. Yeah.
So did I waste enough time out here? Did I ramble on about this magical internet money that's going to set all this working class people slaving away 9 to 5 free if they can just have enough intuition and fortitude and discipline to be able to start collecting this digital currency that's going to be the future?
I mean, we have people watching and we have thumbs up, but no one's talking.
Oh, you guys know that you're the main part of the show around here.
It's okay,
here.
You guys can lurk.
We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you're thinking about Bitcoin today. This is how we spread awareness, right? As we get out here and we talk about it. I'll answer bad questions. I'll entertain stupid as well. I mean, I kind of do around my house all the time, it seems like.
Yeah. Have you not listened to me? I definitely have Peter Pan syndrome, and all I do is talk about stupid, nonsensical.
I do have a little bit of news today, Samantha, to be able to incite some conversation.
We have a person.
Actually,
right. We have 2 people. Okay, so Silky Wizard. That's a new person.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm glad that you could come on out, hang out with us in the backwoods here in North Florida.
They say hello to the lady and the chickens I can't see. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe if you really, zoomed in, tried to something, you might see a chicken bobbing around, but yeah, no. I know. I'm not feeling it.
I don't ever. Rooster's right over there.
I know, right? He's sitting. Oh, yes, you can see him. See, there's Rooster and Betty. Yeah, we're those kind of people. Okay, so Vengeance says, "Where's your tipping me address?" Vengeance wants to tipping us. Apparently,
if you come over to my Twitter, that's usually how you do the tipping me.
Is it there?
I actually haven't used it in a while because when we had the problems with YouTube and they were giving us the strikes, I deleted all of the links and all of the tools that I had accumulated over that year and a half for you guys to help you get you introduced into the cryptocurrency space. I still have all of them saved because, of course, they're my personal bookmarks as well. But I don't post them up there because some of the faucets they consider gambling, and they gave me strikes for that.
Yeah,
Some
once
of
we had the whole shutdown, now we're all sorts of like paranoid.
Yeah.
I know.
I want to be able to stay out here and keep
That's what the
providing
man
you
does,
content
dear.
for free and bring the free help desk, which is listed at the emails down below, right? And then, like I said, there's the 2 other social media platforms, YouTube and not YouTube, but Facebook and Twitter.
We're on YouTube.
And we're posting on there in order to be able to cast a little bit of a bigger net.
Oh, Vengeance says, oh, well.
It's
And
okay, buddy.
Silky Wizard says, when is Bitcoin going to 20K again?
Well, Bitcoin usually doesn't reach an all-new high before we have the halvening. So like I was saying a few moments ago, probably about 200 days after the halvening, we should definitely be looking at Bitcoin getting an all-new high kind of price. You know, supply and demand tells us that we're going to have to do something, right? There is going to be more demand. There's going to be less because we'll be down to 6.25, right? There will then a period of time. So any excess supply that was out, or the world heads into turmoil, has a need, right? As
Yes,
places like, you know, Venezuela, and I mean, that's the one that everyone always points to. But now we're looking at Cuba. We're looking at a lot of Latin American countries. We're seeing the Europeans and the Middle East starting to embrace this ideal of financial revolution, as we still have protests in France. So, and the run on the banks in Hong Kong.
I mean, I still think it's weird that one of the selling points is that you can be a woman or a child, because there are some countries where you really can't.
Yes,
I mean,
actually,
like,
my sister does. She lives in the Middle East. She lives
2
in
of
Dubai,
your sisters, technically.
And she's like, they have a chauffeur because she can't drive.
Yes, like it is like somebody needs to be dying for a woman to get behind the wheel. And then even then, like, they have to sit in the back seat because, yes, like, not happening.
Not everybody has it as good as we do in America. You know, sometimes it is hard to see from another perspective, but perspective is what everything is based on. So sometimes it is better to just take a step back, realize that we do have some advantages here that others don't have, even though we want more. Of course, that's human nature, human condition. You're always striving for what you can't have.
I mean, I don't know. That is how I think that, like, Bitcoin is common sense, because even though, I mean, yes, we are literally not going to work and getting paid 25 cents in our nation's currency and being happy and thankful for it. We are not, we are not just all of the oppressions, because there is so many, but like even like the Venezuela's, and that's where the currencies, we're not fluctuating throughout a day. A dollar is still a dollar to us, and yet it still makes perfect sense on why Bitcoin is what it is. All right, so Silky Wizard says that they can now see a chicken. All yes, right. I know. Vengeance says that he's just excited about the Lightning Network for the tipping me. I know.
It is. The Lightning Network is exciting. It does suck a little bit that there has been a little bit of negative publicity based on the bug that did occur. But I still am yet to hear someone come out and say that they actually lost any money over the situation. And as far as I can tell, it was handled perfectly. They found the bug, they worked through a fix, then they told everybody about it so that nobody was able of going out there and exploiting it. So there's a reason it's beta. There's a reason it's only a year. Give it 10 years like we are right now with Bitcoin.
Vengeance says now is a good time to accumulate. Silky Wizard says agreed. Vengeance says indeed. Same goes with divorce. If you're a man and you're kicked out of your family, it is almost an automatic loss. Bitcoin is harder for government and the family court to seize. That is true. I mean, I am one of those few, I guess, people that every time I have had many friends that are single mothers that do child support and all of that, and none of that makes any sense to me. I do not understand how someone gets to impose so much on one person for just being a half of the equation and it making a child. I mean, you are allowed to make choices. There is adoptions. There are other things where no one had to pay anybody in the long scheme. But yes, like,
I mean, I'm not here to say who can do what. I just know that I have never seen that kind of bureaucracy help anybody.
No.
It usually just ends up working to create more hate when there should be love involved in the situation.
I figure no matter how much you hate somebody, it's the same as our hater. Hate and love come from the same place. So that means that you should be able to look past whatever your hatred is and not do badly by that person.
You know, we're
and
doing it
that's
again,
it.
Samantha. We're out here rambling on, and we're not even touching these.
There is
topics.
news, I know. Yeah.
Is there anything going on in the chat? Because
No,
of
we are
course,
good.
you guys are the main focus around here. We love the chat. That is Samantha's only job around here.
It is.
So let me see. The first thing I got is we got XRP is doing a major rebranding.
Mm.
Now, yeah, that was kind of my first take on it. We had heard inklings of this across the week or whatever, but we're getting confirmation of it now. Usually rebranding is never a good thing, right? That means, but of course, we're seeing that the messaging xcurrent / x via the API interface is going to be rebranded as RippleNet. Okay.
RippleNet.
And we got XRapid, their like payment network, is now going to be called on-demand liquidity.
For some reason, that just makes me think of like the on-demand like video channel. Like, but okay, whatever.
I think that this is just a little bit of rebranding to help them be able to explain this as they're going to sell it.
Oh, you mean
yeah,
so it's for the mouth breathers, as Adam Meister would like to say?
Yes. As they go and they're trying to explain to the board, you know, about XRapid, the network, they're just going to be, no, we got on-demand liquidity. Yes, the on-demand liquidity is going to be available 24/7, 365 for you to be able to interact with your banks
on the RippleNet. Yes, like
on the RippleNet. Yes, exactly. It'll roll off the tongue. And they'll be like, yes, I want on-demand liquidity. That's exactly what I want.
Oh, and the RippleNet?
On the RippleNet?
It's based off blockchain, right? Yes. Yes.
Those are all the buzzwords. How many millions would you like?
Oh, let's put ads on the sides. Yes, please.
You'll now get ads with your blocks. As you process and read your block, an ad will pop up.
Right. 2 more confirmations. Oh, for the love. Oh, for the love. I don't even know.
Anything going on in the chat? Do you guys have any opinions here on this rebranding? I mean, personally, I find it humorous, but you guys know me. I'm a Bitcoin guy. XRP has been here for a very long time. They used to hold the number 2 spot. They were our biggest competitor. There are lots of shades of gray. I do believe that they have a place in this world. I do believe that banks are going to also integrate into a digital future as well. And this Stellar Lumas, that kind of stuff are going to be their backbone. So, I mean, there is plenty of money to be made. I remember when XRP was fractions of a cent. And I remember when they went up to $3. So I could have been a lot richer if I would have invested in XRP over Bitcoin. But I'm a revolutionary. I care about the future. I have that integrity.
Integrity. Sci-Flyer is here. He says,
Sci-Flyer, I haven't seen you in a minute, my friend. I am glad that you could get out here and join us as the sun is setting here in North Florida. No mosquitoes yet. Still got some news.
It's that twilight.
Of course, comment in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you got going on. I do have a side note today. One of the cars that I showed up to go detail, right? The guy was
Eugene's new business. Yay.
The guy's asking questions about, you know, like, do I take credit card, debit cards, Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff. And then at the last minute, as I'm like walking away, he's like, do you take digital currencies? I was like, did you say digital currencies? I take Bitcoin. I was like, actually, me and my wife are big Bitcoin advocates. He opened up the floodgates. He said he had to get back to work. He said he didn't have a wallet or any on him, but he said that he would remember for next time. So hopefully I have him on the 2-week cycle. I'll definitely have to try to bring him over to the channel and definitely have to try to detail for some Bitcoin.
Suck it in. Come on. That would be the first job. Oh, that would be amazing. Like, just like I was saying, it sucks that we're not in a country where they're able to be like, I'd like 10% to go to me in Bitcoin. I would like this to be broken into my state. No, we don't get that kind of luxury.
Well, do we have anything going on in the chat, Samantha?
I am for I am is here now. He says hello.
I am for I am. Nice that you could join us, my friend. I appreciate it. I have been checking out your messages that you have been leaving underneath. Thank you. I love it when you guys come back and comment. It's one of those things that helps
love you guys.
The YouTube AI algorithm figure out that we're doing all right around here. We're hanging out. We're doing good by Bitcoin. We're trying to provide a free help desk. We're trying to spread awareness. We love our audience, and we try to get out here on the regular basis as much as possible. Probably not going to be out here tomorrow, but
Probably not
I have
because
a full day booked.
yeah, and I don't.
My first full day. So
Yes.
that's going to be amazing. I'm glad for that because, hey, of course, more money means that eventually we'll be able to buy more nice equipment.
Yeah.
So, hey.
And I mean, more Bitcoin shirts,
More
right?
Bitcoin. Yeah, these ones are getting a little.
More Bitcoin hats.
I've worn them a bit.
You want a new coffee mug? Yeah, that's how that happens.
All right. Well, the next little bit of news I got here is, I hate to say I told you so, right?
No, you don't.
All right, I don't. But looks like Libra's probably not going to happen, right? That was remember day one, I was
yeah.
I want to see this out in the real world operating first. Well, it looks like political pressures is forcing everybody to withdraw and a pending lawsuit based on the ripoff of the logo. So it looks like that this is going to be impeded.
I don't even know what their logo is, actually, because, you know,
It's a circle with a little, I don't even know, rectangle that's broken in the middle in it, and it looks just like this other digital currencies logo, and they were here first.
Gotcha.
I don't even think it's the Libra, it's the Calibra part, the wallet.
Yes.
I think that's where the logo is
so
coming
it's like
in.
dollar bill shaped inside circle?
I'll show you after.
Okay. All right.
It's a circle with a dash.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
But it did take a little bit of political pressure off of our back for a bit, right? We are seeing the regulations slowly starting to trickle back in, as we just seen the tax release the other day, which still has everybody up in arms about it. Definitely has me leaning towards the way if they can forget them, right? If they can't make it simple, I don't know if I want to keep participating. I haven't bought or really sold anything this year, so we'll see how it rolls out at the end.
I don't know. I kind of have a different perspective. Like, okay, like just like how we were saying, because this is some like horrible social globulationness of corporations and whatnot, then no one in their right mind wants to see this happen, blah, blah, blah. Yet, like, I mean, they instantly stomped this. They instantly started, no, countries. I mean, they started unifying to be like, no. It makes me kind of like I think it's good, but then, I mean, maybe it's just, do they undervalue Bitcoin? Because or is it the fact that they can't stomp it out and they realize it? So what's the point of sitting there saying, oh,
I think it is actually that they do understand Bitcoin to such a degree that they realize that it's different than anything else out there, and it's going to be like a fluid situation that the harder they push against it, the tide may go out, but eventually the tide will come back just as hard as they push it. So they're trying to definitely not disturb the surface of the water. They do realize that something like this from Libra could undervalue them overnight.
Yes.
So
because they do think Facebook and all that is a threat.
This is the battle between centralized and decentralized. When you can politically put pressure against several major corporations
or countries, or
then you can shut it down. Now, they're literally going to have to go around and take 1.5% of the entire population and do something with all of us in order to make this stop.
So you're talking about like crypto genocide somehow?
Crypto genocide to kill the Bitcoiners.
Like it would be very...
But I mean, you can't pass regional law because we're worldwide. And it becomes so much harder because it does seem like the more pressure you apply on Bitcoin, because a lot of us are libertarian and cypherpunks and we believe in our rights, we're willing to do this stuff at a loss, right? We don't always have to make a buck at this in order to keep fighting, because just like me, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, we realize that this is the tool for the revolution. And when the revolution happens in the future, there's not going to be a lot of tools for us to use. You know, all of the previous revolutions and the way the man is and the way the government and, you know, CSI crap and computers, you know, you're not just going to run around in the woods with guns, right? Like they did back in the old days and shoot each other. It is going to be fought on a digital frontier.
Okay, so I am says IRS and SEC are at war with us. He says battles to be fought, a war to win. We fight for individual monetary sovereignty. We do. Mm-hmm. And he says, I think we are seeing more IRS and SEC actions because of Libra spooking them.
it could lead the other way, that it does take a long time to get the gears of Congress and government and progress going. So once they do get going, El Libra kind of help give them the push, and maybe we'll see more fallout here in 2020 with regulation coming in on Bitcoin. We have always talked about how regulation is going to be the big problem, and it is going to take a long period of time to unravel. And that's why it's great that we're early investors. We get as much Bitcoin as we're going to get before the price goes up. We go ahead and we break our KYC off of it, and we hold it with our private keys. Proof of keys coming up. I'm going to keep saying it because I want in on this. Everybody needs
proof of keys,
right? So proof of keys. What's your problem?
Do you know where your crypto is?
I'm sure all of you guys do. These people are not. These are our friends. They know better than to leave it at the exchange. They're not here trying to get a Lambo or a Tesla overnight. They're not using.
They're not longing and shorting. And
they're not 100x leveraging.
All right. Veggie says not even that would do it. Silky Wizard says, will the US dollar become a cryptocurrency one day? Probably something. I
mean, at some point there will be no need to have the paper cash. They would want it to all go digital. It'd be much easier for them to track it.
I mean, literally, just like the Sunset Music Festival that we went to, it had Sunny Money.
Yeah.
And I mean, the downside of that was literally their system and their network crashed day number 2. And that was horrible because no one took cash. They only took your wristband that had your Sunny Money address on it. So, yeah. But, I mean, I definitely think that the U.S. is going to definitely somehow get on the...
Yeah, but see, that back to what you're talking about here. We'll start wrapping it up. See, that one always bothered me because what they did there was they used a closed database system, called it a little blockchain, called it a money.
Ripple?
But then they used it in a way so that they could hire people that would take the goods and services and take cash, but then they could pay them less because they didn't have to trust them, because they weren't actually handling money. So they were able to pay these people minimum wage to perform services because they tried to use this database, but then the database went down, so everybody just got screwed.
All right. IF4IM says, I wish Satoshi had made it a privacy coin from day one. I know. I mean, sometimes it is damn near perfect. Okay. So that's as good as it's going to get.
There still is privacy in Bitcoin if you have a good Bitcoin education and you go through the proper steps and you take time, right? Time is what the problem is. If you need Bitcoin today, you got to spend it later on today or tomorrow, then your name's attached to it. If you buy Bitcoin today and you don't plan on selling it for 3 years, 400 days,
if you gotta mix it a couple times,
you can do things in order to break the KYC down. But eventually, hopefully, it'll become simpler with the integration of not only wallets, adding privacy, but fingers crossed, something on the base layer would be nice, but we doubt it. Right? We look like it's going to be more of a second tier solution. I have heard stuff about Tor browsers and Lightning Network and stuff like that, using multiple channels and Dandelion in order to help. So it will happen. It just takes time. All good things do. All right. Is that it, Samantha?
Well, Sci-Flyer says, yes, I had a problem with Poloniex last year. IM4IM says the dollar has been digitalized already, i.e. credit card transaction fee, wires, ACH, direct deposits. I know, right? It is sad that it's not real, man. None of it's real. Oh, it's so horrible. All right. And Sci-Flyer says that he's getting his BTC transferred off of the Poloniex exchange. So,
well, that's good, my friend.
IM4AM says, I think the SRD will be the central banks of the world, a decentralized currency, but they will see our wallets and where and who we sent us money and what we spent it on.
The DEX, right? I don't know. We're still really yet to see a good functioning.
I think that we are smart enough to because they've now had 10 years to figure out how to actually exploit a Bitcoin transaction. Because in the very beginning, it was anonymous and it was actually private because no one had any way of figuring it out.
Right.
Now they've just had it for so long that they've figured it out. We just got to twerk something a little, do something. And
it always comes down a lot to your own due diligence. Are you generating a new address every time? or are you using old ones? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big factor right there. Are you posting an address somewhere online
Do you
in
have
your
most
social
of your
media?
crypto in some KYC exchange? I mean, attached to an address that you don't move stuff around with.
All right. So I was going to talk a little bit about Telegram, but these mosquitoes are getting out here at us. So we're probably going to
okay.
go ahead and start wrapping up this episode.
Zaza is here. Says, heyo. Okay.
All right.
Katie is here. Says XRP owns too much of total supply that they are dumping.
Yes.
Hi, Katie. Yes.
That's been a problem. Who was it that we heard talking about? Crypto Face was talking about that quite a bit. There was a petition that was actually going around for a little bit talking about possibly forking XRP because they were dumping so much of it. It's been a problem and an issue since the beginning of this. I mean, you can always look back into this XRP stuff, and I mean, there is so like 80% or something, I think it was last I heard, is still in reserves versus the liquid supply out there. I mean, once I seen it go from fractions of a cent to $3 to back down, I really don't want anything to do with it. So, I mean, that was definitely my like, wow, I really don't want to touch that.
No. Yeah, that's a no. All right. Subvention says, I doubt the feds will agree to having an actual crypto dollar since they want to be able to track everything. They don't want us to be able to use the USD coins and flip them to Bitcoin and back and jumble them all around. Oh, it's like the whole cup trick.
The cup trick.
Yep. Where's my Bitcoin at?
All right.
Yes, I am for I am, since he wouldn't touch XRP.
All right, you guys. I hope you guys have a great evening. I hope you're out there making the best of your weekend because, hey, it does seem like the weekends are the only times we get for ourselves, and life should be more than all of that. So if this is all you're getting with your family, I really want you to make the best of it right now, all right?
Man, go do what you like.
All right. Besides that, keep that BTC safe. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.